The tragic death of Princess Diana on August 31st, 1997, in a Paris car crash remains one of the most heart-wrenching moments in modern history. The catastrophic accident in the Pont de l'Alma tunnel claimed the life of the people's princess, a woman whose compassion, grace, and resilience captivated the world. Among the first to respond was French firefighter Xavier Gourmelon, who, unaware of her identity, tended to a blonde woman struggling to survive in the wreckage. In a rare and poignant revelation, Gourmelon has shared the faint words Diana whispered to him, words he kept private for over 2 decades. What did she say in her final moments? And how does his account reshape our understanding of that fateful night? Join us as we delve into Gourmelon's haunting recollections, Diana's remarkable life, and the global outpouring of grief that followed her untimely passing. The crash that shook the world. In the early hours of August 31st, 1997, a black 1994 Mercedes-Benz W140 sped through Paris, carrying Princess Diana, Dodi Fayed, bodyguard Trevor Rees-Jones, and driver Henri Paul. The group had left the Hotel Ritz, owned by Fayed's father, Mohammed Al-Fayed, aiming to reach Fayed's apartment on Rue Arsenicet. To evade the relentless paparazzi, a decoy car departed from the hotel's front, allowing Diana and her companions to exit via the rear. Paul, the Ritz's deputy head of security, was called in despite it being his night off, tasked with navigating the city's streets at high speed. The Mercedes raced along Cours La Reine and Cours Alberti, reaching the Place de l'Alma underpass at approximately 65 miles per hour, double the tunnel speed limit. Tragedy struck as Paul, later found to have a blood alcohol level 3 times France's legal limit and traces of prescription drugs, lost control. The car, clipped a Fiat, swerved into a concrete pillar, ricocheted to the left, and slammed into the tunnel wall. The front of the vehicle was mangled, smoke rising from the wreckage as it came to a halt. Paparazzi on motorbikes, trailing closely, arrived moments later. Some snapped photos, sparking outrage, while others attempted to assist. Emergency services were alerted, and within minutes, firefighter Xavier Gourmelon and his team from a nearby station arrived, unaware of the historic tragedy unfolding. Xavier Gourmelon's haunting encounter. As Gourmelon approached the crumpled Mercedes, he assessed the scene with the calm professionalism of a seasoned firefighter. The driver, Henri Paul, was already deceased, his body trapped in the wreckage. Dodi Fayed, in the rear left seat, had suffered a fatal heart attack and was pronounced dead at the scene. Trevor Rees-Jones, the sole survivor, sustained severe facial injuries but was conscious, repeatedly asking, "Where is she?" in a desperate plea for Diana. Unable to understand English, Gourmelon's team reassured him, focusing on stabilizing the victims. In the back seat, Gourmelon spotted a blonde woman, conscious but barely clinging to life. Her eyes were open, and she made slight movements, giving him hope. Carefully extricating her from the wreckage, he noted her condition seemed stable, with only a minor cut on her right shoulder. As he held her hand, she whispered faint words he later chose not to disclose publicly, preserving their intimacy. "It was just another traffic accident to me, caused by speed or intoxication," Gourmelon later reflected, unaware he was tending to Princess Diana. Diana suffered a cardiac arrest as she was lifted onto a stretcher, but Gourmelon and his team successfully resuscitated her. "I thought she would pull through," he recalled, heartened by the absence of significant bleeding. She was loaded into an ambulance and rushed to Piti-Salpêtrière Hospital, arriving at 2:06 a.m. Medical staff fought tirelessly, performing multiple resuscitation attempts, but her injuries, a severed pulmonary vein and a punctured artery near her heart, proved fatal. At 4 a.m., Diana was pronounced dead, a loss that would stun the world. Gourmelon learned of her identity only after she was en route to the hospital, when a paramedic revealed she was the Princess of Wales. The revelation left him reeling. "The scene is vivid in my mind," he told The Sun in 2017, breaking his 20-year silence after retiring. "I often think about it, especially around this time of year. The weight of hearing Diana's final words, coupled with the realization of her global significance, became a profound burden he carried quietly. Diana's journey, from aristocrat to icon. Born into an aristocratic family near Sandringham House, Lady Diana Spencer grew up in the orbit of royalty. Her early years were marked by humility, with stints in low-paying jobs in London despite her noble lineage. At 16, her life took a transformative turn when she caught the eye of Prince Charles, then dating her older sister, Sarah. Their bond deepened over years of courtship, culminating in an engagement and a spectacular wedding at St. Paul's Cathedral on July 29, 1981. Watched by 750 million viewers worldwide, the ceremony promised a fairy tale life. Yet the reality was far from idyllic. Diana's gentle nature clashed with the monarchy's rigid protocols, and her marriage to Charles unraveled under the strain of public scrutiny and personal betrayals. The birth of Princes William and Harry brought joy, but also intensified media intrusion. Diana battled bulimia, depression, and feelings of inadequacy, exacerbated by Charles's rekindled romance with Camilla Parker Bowles. A 1995 BBC interview with Martin Bashir laid bare her struggles, with Diana famously stating, "There were three of us in this marriage." The candid revelation, while earning public sympathy, strained her relationship with her sons and the royal family, leading to her 1996 divorce. Post-divorce, Diana sought solace in new relationships. Her romance with British Pakistani heart surgeon Hasnat Khan offered hope, with Diana contemplating a private life in Pakistan to escape the spotlight. But the relationship faltered under the weight of public attention. In the summer of 1997, she accepted an invitation from Mohammed Al Fayed to vacation in France, where she grew close to his son, Dodi. Their whirlwind romance, marked by lavish gifts and yacht outings, captivated the media, though opinions varied on its seriousness. Tragically, their time together was cut short in Paris. The night of the crash, Diana and Dodi's final evening began with plans for dinner at the Bon Noir restaurant, but paparazzi presence forced them to dine at the Ritz instead. Fearing further intrusion, they retreated to their suite, devising a plan to reach Fayed's apartment undetected. Henri Paul's fateful decision to drive, combined with the paparazzi's pursuit, set the stage for disaster. Investigations later confirmed Paul's intoxication as the primary cause, dismissing conspiracy theories implicating the media or external forces. Gourmelon's account reinforces this, emphasizing the crash's tragic simplicity, a routine accident with catastrophic consequences. The global mourning. Diana's death unleashed an unprecedented wave of grief. In London, over 1 million floral tributes blanketed Kensington Palace, with mourners leaving notes, stuffed animals, and champagne for the vulnerable. At Althorpe, her family estate, flowers piled so high that safety concerns prompted requests to stop. Books of condolence opened at St. James's Palace and the British Embassy in the U.S., while Harrods dimmed its 11,000 lights until after the funeral. On September 6, 1997, Diana's funeral at Westminster Abbey drew 3 million spectators in London and 2.5 billion viewers worldwide across 44 languages. Attendees included First Lady Hillary Clinton, French First Lady Bernadette Chirac, and celebrities like Elton John, whose reimagined Candle in the Wind became a global anthem of mourning. Earl Spencer's eulogy, a searing critique of the media and royal family, resonated with the public, earning applause. Diana's coffin, draped in the royal standard, was driven to Althorpe, where mourners showered it with flowers. In a private ceremony, she was laid to rest on an island in the Oval Lake, clad in a Catherine Walker dress and holding a rosary from Mother Teresa. Beyond London, tributes poured in globally. In San Francisco, 14,000 marched to honor Diana's AIDS advocacy, while Los Angeles hosted a candlelit memorial. Landmine victims in Angola and Bosnia held services, with one Bosnian survivor calling her our friend. In Cairo, mourners flocked to the British Embassy to honor Dodi and Diana. The BBC lowered its flags, and UK sporting events paused in reverence. Diana's enduring legacy. Diana's death transformed her into a timeless icon. The Flamme de la Liberté, near the crash site, became an impromptu memorial, though condolence notes have since been removed. In 2004, Queen Elizabeth dedicated the Diana Princess of Wales Memorial Fountain in Hyde Park, followed by a statue unveiled by William and Harry in 2021 at Kensington Palace's Sunken Garden. Her humanitarian work, championing AIDS awareness, landmine removal, and children's welfare, continues to inspire, redefining royalty as a force for compassion. Gourmelon's revelations, particularly Diana's whispered words, add a deeply human layer to her tragedy. They remind us of her vulnerability in her final moments, even as her legacy endures. What are your thoughts on his account? How does it shape your view of Diana's life and death? Share your reflections below and join the conversation about the enduring impact of the People's Princess.